Welcome back, everyone. We're diving deep into the art of flavor today, exploring some awesome insights from culinary expert Laura Gardner. You might remember her from the A Taste of Everything podcast. She had some pretty cool things to say about, well, how to make your dishes amazing.
Yeah, she really breaks it down. Like, how do you actually turn regular ingredients into something truly special?
Exactly. And she really emphasizes the importance of balance,
Yeah.
right? Like mastering those core flavor elements.
Yeah.
Sweet, salty, sour, bitter, and of course, umami.
It's kind of like, well, she uses this great analogy in the podcast. She compares those elements to like building blocks.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, each one has its own specific role. Just like when you're building a house, you need all the right pieces to make it, strong and balanced.
Okay, that makes total sense. So you're
hmm
saying like each taste is like a crucial part of the structure of a dish.
Right. And it's not just about understanding those individual tastes, right? It's about knowing how to combine them strategically to create something really special.
And that's where it gets kind of tricky, I think, for like home cooks like us. Like
Yeah.
it's one thing to read about it, but how do we actually do it?
Well, that's where Laura's advice comes in. She says one of the biggest mistakes we make is not tasting enough as we go.
Oh yeah, I'm totally guilty of that.
We tend to season at the very end, but she's all about seasoning and layers. Taste as you go and adjust as needed.
So it's not just like dumping in a teaspoon of salt and hoping for the best.
Right. It's more like, understanding how all those flavors work together and how they change as they cook.
So like sometimes salt can actually bring out sweetness.
Exactly. Or a little bit of acid, like a squeeze of lemon, can brighten things up, cut through richness. It's all about those subtle things that make a huge difference.
Okay, so it sounds like developing a more sensitive palate is key here. But like, how do we actually do that?
Laura suggests starting simple. Just focus on one taste at a time. Like, try a pinch of salt, then some lemon juice, then a bit of sugar, and really pay attention to how each one feels on your tongue.
That's a cool exercise. I never thought of it that way.
Yeah, it's like isolating those individual notes, right? And then once you get those down, you can start experimenting with how they work together.
It's all about being present, huh? Like really paying attention to those flavors and how they evolve as you cook.
Yeah, and honestly, it's a lot of fun. Like, cooking should be playful, Don't be afraid to experiment and see what you come up with.
I love that. It takes the pressure off.
Exactly. And sometimes, the most unexpected combinations turn out to be the best. Speaking of unexpected, you know what Laura makes that's amazing? Her citrus-marinated chicken.
Oh, yeah. I've heard about that. Isn't that the one with like the tangy citrus and the savory garlic and a little touch of sweetness?
Yeah, and it really shows how those contrasting flavors can come together to make something really special.
Yeah, it sounds incredible. I love how she like uses those contrasting elements to make something truly memorable.
It's fun. It's more than just a cool combination of ingredients, though.
Hmm.
She really stresses this idea of engaging all your senses to elevate the whole experience.
So like we're going beyond just taste.
Exactly. Taste is, obviously the foundation, but it's like she's saying flavor is actually multisensory. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Hmm.
Like, think about the smell of spices, when you're cooking, or even just the way a dish looks.
Oh, yeah. Presentation is huge.
Totally. And there's a reason for that, right? Like, our brains just connect those visual cues with, how we perceive taste.
I'm totally guilty of being swayed by a pretty plate.
Me too. It's like we eat with our eyes first,
Hmm.
So as we're cooking, we can think about, well, the colors, the shapes, even the texture of the food.
It's almost like creating a work of art, but it's edible.
Exactly. And speaking of texture, I mean, think about that crunch of a perfectly roasted veggie or a creamy sauce, even just the chewiness of fresh bread.
Oh, yeah, I love all that. You need those different textures, for sure.
For sure. And as cooks, we can totally play with that. It's like incorporating ingredients that have different densities, or shapes. Think about how things cook differently, too.
So you're saying we have all these like tools at our disposal to make the experience more uh, well-rounded.
Totally. And that's, I think, the big takeaway here. Aroma, the way something looks, texture, it all works together. It affects how we taste things. It elevates the whole thing.
It's like a symphony almost,
Yeah,
but for your senses.
exactly. And honestly, anyone can do it. You don't have to be a professional chef. But you know what else is crucial? Something Laura talks a lot about. It's more than just the techniques even.
Ooh, now I'm curious. Tell me more.
It's the importance of It's the importance of, well, seasonality and the quality of the ingredients. Laura's really big on using like fresh seasonal produce whenever you can. She believes that, for a dish to be truly delicious, you got to start with the best stuff.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Like, there's nothing like a juicy tomato in the summer, right? You can just taste the difference.
Exactly. And it's not just produce, right? Think about meats, seafood, dairy, even spices. All of it matters.
So it's about like respecting those ingredients, letting their natural flavors, shine through.
Exactly. And that kind of ties back to what we were saying about connection, right? When you take the time to find those green ingredients, it shows, it's like a deeper level of care.
Yeah, it's like honoring the food.
Totally. And it makes the whole experience like more meaningful. But here's where things get really cool. Laura also encourages, trusting your gut and like developing your own flavor profiles.
Oh, I love that. So it's not just about like following recipes exactly.
No, it's more like, use the recipe as a starting point. Then, make it your own. Add your own touch.
That's where the fun is, right? Like finding your own style.
Exactly. That's where the magic happens. It's like when you move past just, following instructions and you start to really trust your own tastes, that's when your cooking becomes something, truly special.
It's like you find your culinary voice.
Exactly. And that's a journey, The more you experiment, the more you learn, and the better you get at it.
This has been so cool. We've learned so much about the art of flavor today, thanks to Laura Gardner. She really broke it down for us. We talked about balance, engaging all of our senses, finding those high quality ingredients.
And don't forget about intuition, trusting yourself, and finding your own unique style. That's what it's all about, right?
Absolutely. So to everyone listening, go out there, have fun in the kitchen, experiment and make those taste buds happy.
Happy cooking, everybody.